President Donald Trump's broad new tariffs on imports from more than 60 countries came into effect on Thursday, August the 7th, 2025. These reciprocal tariffs range from 10%, such as on imports from the UK following a trade deal, to as high as 50% on goods from Brazil and India. The tariffs target nations the US accuses of unfair trade practices, with India's rate set to rise to 50% later this month due to its purchase of Russian oil. While Trump celebrated the tariffs as revenue generators expected to bring in billions to the US economy, concerns have been raised about potential inflationary effects and harm to smaller US businesses. For this conversation, I'm joined by global policy analyst Professor Iyalla Peterside. He is also founder and president of Opobo Foundation US. It's good to have you on the news tonight. Considering the globalized nature of modern economies, how do you anticipate the broad new tariffs imposed by Trump on imports from over 60 countries will impact the global supply chain dynamics, particularly for industries that rely heavily on international trade? I mean, 60 is quite a number.
I think this is a very short-sighted trade policy. I think it's a mixture of economics and politics, and almost every economist agrees that tariffs are taxes on imported goods, and ultimately the nation state that imposes the tariffs will suffer because the cost of goods will go up. But more importantly, there will be retaliatory tariffs from other countries. Nobody's going to sit down and watch its cost of exports rise without protecting itself. And we know from history, economic history, that even though you get a short-term benefit because of income for the government, ultimately those prices are transferred to the consumer. And inflation will rise, and the things that you're trying to protect, unemployment will go up, the global free trade will be bound up in all sorts of red tape, and that doesn't benefit anybody. I think that the idea that America, because of its size and because of its economic size, can push people around, it's okay. But I think at some point it will backfire, because everybody else, the EU, China, Russia, everybody else is going to impose retaliatory tariffs, and I don't think this is a good policy at all.
Tariffs can have varying impact on different sectors of the economy, with some industries benefiting from reduced competition and others suffering from increased cost of imported materials. Which specific sectors of the U.S. economy are likely to be most significantly affected by these new tariffs, and how might they adapt to the changing trade environment?
The problem in that equation is that we have a globalized economy now, and even countries, even industries that produce in America have raw materials and products that they import from other countries to aid in their production. So it's not a one-way street. It's not. There are no industries anymore in the world that I know of that route or use only local material for production. So everybody is interconnected in the global economy. And the funny thing is that America promoted this when it had an advantage over everybody. It promoted free trade, widely criticized protectionism from China and other countries. And now it thinks it can reverse itself because Trump believes that trade deficits are harmful, which do not have anything to do with imports. Trade deficits have to do with consumption. America is a consumption state. It has a large economic base, so it consumes a lot. The funny thing is that most of these industries, or the products that are consumed by America, cannot be produced in America. You don't transform a mom and pop factory into a global factory overnight because you're suddenly not importing from China. You have to have policies that benefit everybody, and I'm sure that the auto industry, the electronics industry, the telecommunication industries. Those are industries that, even though they have a huge base in America, import significant raw materials from other countries to aid in their production. And those imports are all going to be taxed by the tariff policy of Donald Trump.
I wish we had more time, but that's all the time we have for this conversation. Thank you very much, Prof, for giving us your time.
Thank you very much.